So today was my last day of streaming FIFA on Twitch. Uh, Pretty emotional day. I'm so happy that I got to be with my community and see some of the viewers that have been with me for so many years, supporting me, coming through and playing pro clubs with me on my last day of streaming FIFA. And you guys already know, as you guys watched in the previous video, of why I'm doing this. Big transition in my life, and I feel like it's appropriate for me to stop streaming. But what I really wanted to convey in this video and to tell you guys is actually to give you some tips if you were to go into streaming. So for me personally, it's been about 5 years of streaming FIFA, and I started during the pandemic where actually a lot of people got into streaming, especially into FIFA. And it allowed me really to come into my own and learn more about myself and be able to socialize in a way virtually while we weren't able to meet in person. So the tips I want to give is just like if you're starting out and you're really interested in streaming, I just have a couple tips and advice that I want to share with you, some expectations to have if you were to get started on it. So first being is just having the proper equipment. Obviously, you could do your research on what kind of specs you need. You know, webcam, a good mic here, headsets, a capture card, Elgato capture card to connect to your game, and just kind of have an idea what it is you want to put out there, what kind of content you want to stream. So that is for one. And when you get on, even before you start streaming, what helps is just already being plugged into a couple communities and other streamers that you already know. So when I got into it blindly, meaning that like I got in without watching anybody, without watching any FIFA streamers. So I started really watching as I was streaming, and I think if he had a head start of already having community and already building like relationships and friendships virtually through chat in other people's streams, then it's actually easier for people to come on to your streams when you tell them that you're streaming as well. So people will tune in, and even streamers that you know and connected with for a while, they'll probably raid you and bring their viewers to your channel. And that expedites the process of you growing your channel. And really, the main goal, especially for like Twitch, is just to get affiliates so you could start getting money through your streaming. And so that's the best way to meet those requirements right away is if you already have a community that you already or communities that you're watching through other people's streams. And so that's a great thing to do. And then also for you to, be able to raid other streamers, possibly new streamers that you haven't met before. And that allows you to connect toward to other people, um, and bring more viewers to your channels. And also, you showing support to other streamers, they'll reciprocate that support back to you and probably give you raids and subs and bits and things like that, you know. And so, through that, you could build just a network of people, network of streamers and viewers, and just take advantage of that, whether it's to grow your channel or whether it's to uh, build your brand or network about other business things that involves maybe other things that you're invested in. So it could involve like your work that you're doing for your main job or wherever the case may be, or maybe you're looking for like, I don't know, like a plumber or a trade that you need locally, or you need someone to play video games with. I don't know. It could be a wide range of things, right? That you could network and connect over. Or if you want to get into competitive gaming and you need some connects to help you get into some tournaments, like things like that. there's opportunities out there where you could do where you could it could allow you to network and be able to meet people and give you different types of opportunities and whatever fields that you're invested in. So, that's helpful for you too when you're out there streaming. And if another way to really grow your channel is just to do collaborations with other streamers. I know um, what I did along with streaming was just doing podcasts and having other FIFA streamers as guests, and that allowed me to meet a lot of other streamers and do a lot of collabs. I did a lot of pro clubs, doing friendly matches with other pro clubs teams with other streamers. Been in leagues and tournaments, and hosting my own tournaments, like things like that. That has really allowed me to branch out and do that networking aspect of the streaming world. And, you know, I think those tips really help with building a brand. I would also say, just have multiple platforms on social media, Instagram, Twitter, obviously TikTok has helped with Twitch, YouTube. So if you're able to find the time to be able to edit and post videos and clips, put it on those channels, and get your name out there. And those platforms could lead you to Twitch, and Twitch could lead you to those other platforms to grow. So it's good to have a wide range of platforms for your content to just kind of spread it and be out there. And it's always hard to grow. I mean, eventually, if people are pretty consistent with like their schedule, so you could have like a consistent schedule of like you're gonna stream at these days of the week, and that's usually helpful too because people have an expectation and they know when to tune into your streams. So that consistency, definitely helps with growth too. But I know people have sporadic schedules and very unpredictable. But as long as you have some type of consistency, that usually helps with growth too, and that's also a big factor of how I grew as well. And my last takeaway and last advice really is along the way, just have fun with it. Just really enjoy it. Because when you start out, it'll probably just be something you do on the side that you just enjoy doing, like a hobby or something. Eventually, you'll probably be able to make a little bit of money. And if your following gets big enough, maybe you could transition into being a full time streamer or just keep doing it part time and make a good amount of profit from your content. But it really depends. I mean, there's a lot of factors of why some people grow and some don't. I certainly grew to a certain extent and did well for myself, but I know there's other people that did a lot better than me. And, either, they're just more entertaining or they're just better at the game or, maybe people connect with them, the streamers more. You know, it could be all those cases. So, um, and also just being consistent as well. So, you don't know how really it's hard to tell how successful you can be and, you could definitely get caught up in looking at the numbers and the stats. And sometimes focusing on that too much could kind of drive you crazy and make you focus on the numbers too much where you lose the enjoyment of doing the streaming. And I've seen a lot of people do that. And in my 5 years of saving too, a lot of people come and go. People do it for a year or two and then they stop doing. Life comes about, you know, things in their life that they have to take care of that prioritizes the streaming. And it's happened to me too, especially towards the last 2 years of my streaming career where I had to prioritize like my career, my personal life, my social life over the content. And it has hurt me, it has hurt me with the viewership and my growth, but it was okay. I didn't mind. I was as I made the adjustment, I was expecting my numbers to go down. But it was needed, and looking back, it was the right decision to make. For me personally. Um, so that's okay. It comes and goes, but just enjoy it for what it is. I've enjoyed my community and the people I've come across to it, and built friendships over Twitch streaming. And so I'm just very grateful and appreciative of people taking their time to tune in to me and showing me support through subscriptions and bits, and even supporting me financially uh, through Twitch. And so it's been a good ride, and I don't take it for granted. Um, so more than anything, just enjoy the process. Just enjoy your time streaming. Don't get caught up in the numbers. And then if you are one of those guys that get a huge following, and just keep at it, keep on the grind, and maybe it'll be a thing where it could be your full-time thing. I've seen so many streamers that had the ambition to want to be a full-time streamer, but in those 5 years, not everybody has got to that point. It's only a small percentage of people, realistically, that get to that point where they could stream and do content full time. And there's a few that stuck through it all the way through and are still doing it and still able to make some money just doing streaming, which is phenomenal. But realistically, it would be a small percentage of people that get to that point. So, it's really up to you. I would never tell someone whether to pursue it or not. It's if you feel in your heart that that's what you want to do with your life, and you feel it's a reasonable goal to achieve, then go for it. For some people, maybe like myself, it's just something I like to do on the side where I could just have some downtime and just hang out with people in my community. Or, it's just something that you just do for fun. You just do it every once in a blue moon, and you don't really take it too seriously. I mean, everybody has a different mindset going into it, right? So, despite which path you decide to go, I would just say just be appreciative, just enjoy it, just enjoy the time that you're having with it, because you don't get that time back. Um, but if you're gonna pursue it, just yeah, just give it your all and enjoy the process as you're doing it. Is all I could say. So I hope you enjoyed those tips of streaming. That's what I could take away and give to you from my 5 years of streaming. And for me personally, my time of streaming FIFA will come to an end. I'll still probably continue to stream as I make this big transition in my life, moving to Japan. But we'll see what I decide to do. Um, but in the meantime, if you do decide to stream, I hope you take into consideration these tips that I provide for you.